Internet! I've found 5 Australian stars, and you might not know who they are. So, Internet, Australian stars, introduce yourselves.
Internet, my name's Dan Ewing. I play Nick Marshall in Red Billabong.
Interweb Machine. My name's Sophie Don, and I play Anya in Red Billabong.
And my name's Tim Pocock, and I play Tristan Marshall, Nick's younger brother in the movie.
Now, I should bet you guys are all genuinely famous and genuinely far more talented combined than probably a lot of other people we've ever had on this channel.
Well, it's kind of like Captain Planet, you know, our powers combined, that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay.
More famous, more talented.
How did you guys end up with this movie?
Okay, so that's a great question for Sophia.
Oh, apparently I'm going first.
Okay.
How did I end up in this film?
Yeah.
Well, I did a television series episode with the same company, with Luke Spark, the director, his company.
Like, the internet might know what.
Luke Spark, the director of Red Billabong.
What show did you do?
Oh, it was called Yesterday's History. It was on the History Channel, and it was about Australian families and their stories about how they came to Australia. So I did an episode with them, and then Luke approached me that they had a film and there was a role he was interested in looking at me for. So I auditioned, got the gig, and here we are 2 years later.
Here we are talking to you.
How did you guys end up here? I mean,
I think for both of us, our agents were contacted by the company, and we were just offered the roles, and we had a read, and I liked my character, he obviously liked his, and away we went.
There we are.
Some of us had to work for the job.
Well, that's a lot more dull than I thought, but oh well. Yeah, we got agents.
Well, it's always nice. It's nice as an actor just to be offered a role and not have to go through the rigmarole of the audition process, which can be mind-numbing. So yeah.
But what I was wondering about was because you can get a lot of differences between like big Hollywood movies, Australian movies, and I mean, what was it like making this one? Everybody all together, and I mean, where was it filmed? He's got an evil grin on his face. There's a story there.
I always do. No, it was filmed in mostly in Queensland.
Yeah.
In fact, all in Queensland, a place called Bow Desert in the location, so it's just near the Gold Coast. We also had a studio set up there. No, I was grinning because I like what you said. I like what you said about the differences between Australian film and American film. I think our film it'll look quite expensive. Yeah. It'll look more expensive than it is. So we certainly hope that your amazing fan base gets involved and watches.
We're getting more fans every day. Actually, it's rather nice.
It's amazing.
Is this a horror movie or is it a bit?
Action adventure. It's sort of genre bending. It's got some horror elements in there, as you can tell from the poster. There's something going on, but there's also there's a family dynamic drama going on. There's a bit of love and romance in there. There's also plenty of comical moments as well. It's mainly action, so it's pretty much it's a great popcorn flick filled with everything that you want in a movie, really.
Well, we do have a tradition of doing. Would you call them quirky horror movies? Or different kinds?
I think Australian films generally, they like to sit in quite a dark tone, which there is absolutely nothing wrong with. But what's so great about this film is it's quite light-hearted. It doesn't take itself too seriously at times, which I think is particularly Australian. There's a lot of self-deprecating humour. There's some great one-liners in this, which is not common for Australian films. So I think that's one of the things that makes it really different, which is kind of fun.
We made this movie because we wanted people to enjoy it.
Okay. Always a good choice.
Yeah.
But I have heard it's been mentioned in the same sentence as Wolf Creek, and that's a nice place to be, I think. Also, I've heard. Yeah.
Well, I mean, insofar as it's in that similar realm, but it's a very, very, very different film from Wolf Creek. Yeah, that's all I will say.
We'll leave some questions for the rest of the cast we're about to see.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
This, I suppose, will be part one of a two-parter, I suppose.
Part one's probably going to be the best, but to be honest, so
probably.
We're going to hand it over.
Don't even bother watching part two.
We're going to hand it over to part two. Also nice people, just not as nice as us.
Yeah.
So.
You ever shot a gun before?
Yeah, video games.
So why'd you call me out here?
There's this local developer. Wants to buy the land off me.
I don't know what's out here. Lions and tigers and bears.
What's going on here, Garvey? What is this thing?
Hey!
was that?
Mr. Richards wants nothing more than to stop the scene before it can kill again.
What's it now? You tell me you got guns. Guns and drugs. That is an excellent combination, Tristan. Well done.
He'll be wreaking his havoc right across the land.
Yeah, well, you made your choices and I made mine.
Do your job.
This isn't going to be over until I stop it.
Come on, you can do it! Three forts!
It's begun.
You've got the bat. You're older.
Now? If you like this interview, make sure you check out part 2 of Forgive Us Our Press Passes. Hopefully it's as good as the first part, and if not, come back and watch the first part again.
Click subscribe.